All right, you are tuned into the deep dive, and today we are diving headfirst into some classic Reddit drama.
Oh yeah, we're hitting up our best Redditor updates today.
Which is, let's be real, basically the internet's goldmine for finding out what happened next.
It really is. Think of it like getting all the best gossip, but like with receipts and everything. And today's story, wow.
It's a doozy. So we had this 29-year-old woman, our OOP, who posted in Our Swingers, back in May 2023.
Bold move.
Right, and the title just kind of screams trouble. Boyfriend might propose soon, but can this work if I'm monogamous and he's not? You know that's going to be a ride.
And the best part, we have the update from December 2024. So we get the whole story start to finish.
Love a concluded arc.
Me too.
Yeah.
And the core conflict is super clear, right? You've got her monogamous, identifies as demisexual, so she needs that deep emotional connection for attraction.
Right.
And her boyfriend, they're 3 years, he's 36. And he mentioned kind of early on that he and his ex-wife, they used to swing.
Yikes. And now he's hinting at marriage. So this like massive difference is obviously a huge deal for her.
Totally understandable. So
Yeah.
we've got her original post asking for advice. We've got comments from actual swingers reacting to it.
Which are always something.
Always something. And then the big update, like nearly 2 years later, telling us what went down. And more comments on that. It's awesome. So our mission today basically is to unpack all of this. Like, what actually happens when two people want fundamentally different things, especially around monogamy?
Yeah, like can it even work? What are the pitfalls? What can we kind of learn from how this whole thing played out on Reddit?
Let's get into it.
Okay, so rewind to May 2023. OP's 29, dating her guy who's 36 for 3 years. And he's starting to drop hints about proposing. Sounds okay so far, right?
Yeah, standard relationship progression until it isn't. About 6 months in, he just casually mentions that he and his ex-wife swung a few times during their 7-year marriage.
Which, hold up, 6 months in, that's kind of a big thing to just drop in conversation.
Right. Not exactly past the salt. It's a pretty significant piece of his relationship history that suddenly feels, well, very relevant now that marriage is being discussed.
Yeah, no kidding. And his explanation for why they did it sounds almost rehearsed.
How so?
He's all like, oh, it's exciting, super hot. We had such healthy communication, made us stronger. We were less likely to cheat. It's like he's trying to sell her on it.
Huh. That's definitely a narrative you hear in some swinging circles. But then you look at OOP, and she's the total opposite. A schizopansexual needs that deep bond.
Right. Sex with random people, not her thing at all.
And she flat out says she doesn't want to share her partner. She's monogamous. It's her default, you know?
So polar opposites. And then things start getting weird in the bedroom. Boyfriend starts throwing out these fantasies about taking her to a swingers club. And she kind of goes along with it, you know, in the heat of the moment.
The Stevie time scenario. Yeah, I get that. You don't want to be a buzzkill. Maybe you play along a bit.
Exactly. But then it starts bleeding into like regular conversation. The swinging suggestions aren't just for fantasy anymore.
Okay, red flag. That's when her internal alarms must have started blaring.
Totally. So around month 9, she finally speaks up. Like, okay, if this is something you've actually done and enjoyed and it's a hard no for me, can this actually work?
And what did he say?
Initially, he reassured her, said he could be happy without it, which, you know, sounds nice.
But
the fantasy didn't stop. It kept coming up when they were intimate. Like, she said 2 out of every 5 times.
Wow, okay, that's persistent.
And specific, like really specific scenarios involving other people.
Yeah.
Her with another guy, another woman with him.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Oof. Yeah, for someone monogamous, that's got to feel undermining. Like she's not enough.
Totally. She literally says she feels not enough, like she can't compare to his past. And she recognizes her monogamous mindset and insecurity, but she's hesitant to really lay it all out. She doesn't want to like take away his kink. She's trying to be understanding, even though it's clearly messing with her head.
That's tough. And him constantly talking about his swinging past probably didn't help.
No. He's apparently giving her the play-by-play, 3 ways, swaps, all the details with his ex. It's like, thanks for the reminder of what we're not doing.
Yeah, not exactly fostering security there. It kind of sounds like he might be maybe idealizing that past a bit.
Could be. So she's in this bind. She loves him. Daily life is good. They live together. He talks future. But this huge fundamental difference is just looming over everything.
Which is what leads her to Reddit, specifically Our Swingers.
Right, because she figures her monogamous friends will just pile on him. She wants a different perspective.
She's basically asking, can someone who's genuinely enjoyed swinging really be happy long-term in a monogamous relationship? Or is resentment just going to build up?
Yeah. And she mentions his swinging with the ex wasn't like an every weekend thing, but it was a very happy part of their marriage, apparently. She's really trying to understand.
That takes guts, asking that community directly. She must have been desperate for some real answers.
Seems like it. And she did get some validation right away. A commenter, East Bay Fun Couple, basically said, yep, valid concern. You guys need to figure this out before marriage.
That must have felt good just to hear someone say her worries weren't crazy.
Totally. She commented back saying she felt relieved and admitted she tends to avoid conflict. So just getting that validation was huge for her.
But then the top comment from Dem and Pinky, and this one did not hold back.
Oh, God, what did it say?
Straight up, this is not going to work out. Just blunt.
Ooh. Why?
The logic was basically, he keeps bringing it up. It's clearly a major fantasy. He's lived it. The commenter used the phrase, tasted blood.
Harsh, but I kind of get it.
Yeah. The idea is once you've experienced something you really enjoy, it's hard to just turn that off.
Yeah.
Especially if he's already trying to nudge her towards it. So the commenter warned that marriage wouldn't magically fix it. He might resent her later or even push for an open marriage down the line. The advice, get out now.
Wow. That's heavy, and looking ahead, knowing the outcome, kind of chilling.
Right. Because fast forward to December 2024, 19 months later, OOP posts an update. And guess what?
They broke up.
They broke up. A few months after that original post, those Reddit comments might have really hit home.
You gotta think so. What about his reaction when she showed him the post initially?
Okay, get this. His response was basically, oh, sure, if you wanted to swing tomorrow, I'd totally be up for it. But I don't need that in our relationship.
Sounds a little convenient, like he's trying too hard.
That's kind of how it reads. Yeah, like, see, I'm flexible, no pressure. But OP says after that conversation, things just felt off.
Oh, so.
The marriage talk faded. That feeling of love and security, gone. Even though they were still doing coupley things. And when she tried to talk about it, he just brushed it off as her anxiety.
The classic, it's just your anxiety deflection. Not cool.
It's not cool at all. Then comes the Halloween party. This seems like a major turning point.
Let me guess, more awkwardness.
Oh, buckle up. They're with friends, mostly married couples, 30s, 40s. The hosts are Trey and Kayla, mid-30s, 3 kids. Sounds normal enough.
Famous last words.
Right. So Trey, the host, gets super drunk and starts getting really flirty and touchy-feely with basically all the women there.
Okay.
And Kayla, his wife, seems kind of embarrassed, but also weirdly okay with it. Maybe. It's unclear.
Interesting dynamic already.
Then Trey starts full-on making out with some woman most people didn't know by the pool. And her husband is just standing there watching, apparently fine with it.
No, at like a regular friend's party.
Yes. Everyone's just kind of trying to ignore it until Kayla comes outside and sees it.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. The vibe shifts instantly. She's clearly not okay with it. She and Trey disappear. Awkward silence ensues.
I can only imagine what happened.
They came back eventually, and Trey gives this public kind of drunken apology. Turns out they were new to swinging. They'd apparently agreed on rules, like mutual consent, and he completely broke them by making out with the other woman without Kayla knowing or agreeing while she was inside. They'd invited this other couple hoping to maybe explore things later, but he just went for it.
Yikes. Talk about poor impulse control.
Yeah.
And in front of everyone.
Exactly. Kayla was mortified, apologizing privately later, embarrassed their swinging experiment was now public knowledge in their mostly vanilla friend group, and pissed Trey ignored their boundaries.
Okay, so how did OOP and her boyfriend react to all this drama?
Well, OOP felt bad for Kayla. She saw it clearly. Trey cheated by breaking their rules. Simple as that. Especially doing it publicly.
Makes sense. Boundaries are boundaries. What about the boyfriend?
His reaction is stunningly dismissive. He's just like, yeah, he fucked up, but this is new for him, and it's like a kid in a candy shop.
Wait, what? That's his takeaway. No empathy for Kayla. No thought about the broken trust.
Apparently not. Just excused it away. OOP even called him out, reminding him of his whole swinging reduces cheating spiel earlier. She argued, rightly, that breaking boundaries is cheating.
Damn right it is. I bet that car ride home was fun.
Oh, I'm sure it was ice cold. It really undermines his whole healthy communication thing, doesn't it?
Totally. And it gets worse, doesn't it?
Oh, it keeps going. Next time they're intimate, he randomly brings up OOP kissing Kayla, then him kissing Kayla.
During sex, after the party drama, what is wrong with this guy?
Right. It's so tone deaf and just weirdly pushy. OOP waited till afterwards to say she was uncomfortable, especially given what happened with Trey and Kayla.
And how did he react to that?
Didn't argue, but apparently gave off major I'm annoyed vibes. Just silent displeasure. Another attempt to push his agenda without actually talking about it.
So passive-aggressive. What happened next? Board game night.
Yep. You see Trey and Kayla again, along with the other couples from the party. And now Trey and Kayla are being super openly flirty with the other couple, like publicly affectionate.
Okay, so they worked things out maybe?
Seems like it. And OP says she was genuinely happy for them. But her boyfriend...
Let me guess. Moody.
Super moody. Visibly jealous. Apparently, other people even noticed.
Yeah.
Then he just abruptly makes them leave, interrupting OP's game. Total Patty move.
Wow! Okay, so what was that about?
In the car, he finally admits, kind of grudgingly, it's hard to see what I can't have right in front of me.
Oh, there it is, the resentment.
Bingo. And OP finally directly confronts him, says his moodiness makes her feel like she's not enough, and asks him to just be honest.
Good for her. Did he finally own up to it?
Nope. Back to the gaslighting. It's just your anxiety.
Unbelievable.
So she tries again to fix things, asks what they can do to reconnect. His suggestion: she should initiate sex more.
Okay.
So she tries. 5 times. Gets shot down every single time.
No. Why?
Like these really specific, kind of hurtful excuses, like the taste of her vape, he's stressed from work, he doesn't want shower sex, just rejection after rejection.
Oh my God, that's brutal. Talk about making someone feel unwanted.
Totally. Then comes this other incredibly awkward incident. He tells her, take charge, do whatever you want with me, don't be shy.
Uh-oh, vague instructions are the worst.
Exactly. She panics. She feels like he wants something specific, but has no clue what. Like he wants her to perform some domination fantasy he has in his head.
So she asks him.
Yeah, she tries to clarify, like, is there something specific you want? A video, maybe? And he just lets out this frustrated sigh and says, never mind.
He couldn't even tell her what he wanted. How is she supposed to read his mind?
Right. She feels totally crestfallen. And her next move, she goes on Reddit to look up how to dominate your man.
You are kidding me. That's where they were at. Googling sex tips instead of talking.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
The communication breakdown is just total. And the punchline. She goes back upstairs, ready to try something, and finds he's already finished in the shower, alone.
Oh, that's just sad. And so symbolic of how disconnected they were.
Completely. Which leads finally to the breakup.
She initiated it.
Yep. She told him they were disconnected, she didn't feel wanted, and she felt like he didn't know what he wanted. And he actually agreed. Said he was unsure and needed time.
After 3 years, I need time. Wow.
Yeah. For OP, that was the final answer she needed. 3 years of uncertainty. It was time to go.
Did he fight it?
Oh, yeah. Crying, begging her to stay, regrets, asking for another chance. But she held firm, said the trust was gone. He promised to earn it back, but...
Let me guess. Action spoke louder.
Within a month, he's suggesting anal, which, okay, she was fine with, and a sex club.
He just couldn't help himself, could he?
Apparently not. She tried to brush off the first mention, but when he brought up the sex club again shortly after, knowing how fragile things were, that was it. The final nail in the coffin. She realized this fundamental difference was just never going away.
Good for her for finally drawing the line.
Absolutely. Her reflection afterwards is really mature. She realized he wasn't honest with himself. He wanted to be a swinger, but was trying to make it work with someone monogamous. And she learned what she needed.
That's huge. Self-awareness gained through pain, I guess.
And the best part? The update ends happily. A year later, she's in love with someone new who cherishes her, and her anxiety gone.
Oh, that's great. Love a happy ending after all that mess.
Her advice to others is pretty powerful too. If you constantly feel like you're questioning the relationship and feeling not enough, find the courage to leave.
Solid advice. So what did the Reddit commenters say about the update? Predictable reactions.
Pretty much. Lots of told you so vibes, but also genuine happiness for OOP. One commenter, Horror Paper 6574, summed it up well. Called Trey and Kayla fucking idiots, Trey a cheater for breaking rules at a vanilla party, and called the boyfriend's reaction horrific. Glad OOP got out.
Yeah, his reaction to the party was pretty bad.
OP even commented back, agreeing that breaking boundaries is cheating, full stop, and that her ex's inability to handle not getting his way was a huge red flag she maybe ignored for too long.
Hindsight, right? What else came up in the comments?
A lot of people question the whole story about the ex-wife. Like, if swinging was so great for them and their communication was so amazing, why'd they get divorced?
Good point. Did he ever explain that?
Doesn't seem like it. Which led commenters to suspect he was either lying or seriously delusional about his past relationship. Made him look even less trustworthy.
Definitely raises eyebrows. Any other theories?
Oh, yeah. A big one was manipulation. Several people felt he was actively trying to groom or pressure OOP into swinging.
How so?
By constantly talking up how great it was with his ex, bringing up fantasies, pushing boundaries subtly, like he was trying to wear her down. Someone calls him an exotic bird collector, attracted to her independence, but then trying to change her.
Oof, that's a dark but kind of fitting analogy.
It resonated. And tons of people shared their own stories about incompatibility around monogamy, validating OP's feeling that even if swinging isn't inherently wrong, this specific dynamic was toxic for her. It just wasn't compatible.
Yeah, compatibility is key. So the boyfriend pretty much got roasted.
Oh, absolutely dragged. Labeled manipulative, shady, terrible communicator. The age gap also got mentioned as a potential power imbalance factor.
Makes sense. What about the Halloween party? Any other takes on that?
Some people found the friends' reactions really weird. Like, why was everyone so passive while Trey was making out with someone else's wife in front of them? Kind of highlighted the awkwardness of navigating those situations.
True. It's uncomfortable territory. Did anyone defend the swinging prevents cheating idea?
Nope. Several commenters with experience in swinging shot that down hard. Said cheaters cheat, period. It's about the person, not the relationship structure.
Gotcha. What about OOP admitting she was a people pleaser?
Mostly sympathy, but a few offered some tougher love, saying it's understandable but shouldn't be an excuse to repeatedly ignore your own needs. A good reminder about boundaries.
Fair enough. Anything else stand out?
Just some concern about the mentions of choking and name-calling during sex, given the overall context of manipulation. Questioning if consent was truly enthusiastic under those circumstances.
Right. Consent is complex, especially with power dynamics.
Exactly. So the overall Reddit consensus. Relationship was doomed, incompatibility plus boyfriend's bad behavior. OP did the right thing, leaving, and everyone's glad she's happier now.
So summing up this whole Reddit roller coaster, what are the big takeaways?
I mean, it really, really highlights how crucial honesty and alignment are about the big stuff, right? Like monogamy versus non-monogamy. You just can't fake that or sweep it under the rug.
Totally. This story is basically Exhibit A for why ignoring fundamental differences or letting one partner manipulate the other is just a recipe for disaster.
And those aha moments were pretty stark. The contrast between his stories and his actions.
Yeah.
Wow. And seeing OOP get validation online and finally realize her feelings mattered. That was powerful.
Definitely. And for anyone listening, if you've ever felt that pressure to compromise on something really core to who you are in a relationship or felt like you weren't enough, maybe this story hits home.
It's a reminder to really know yourself and protect your own well-being, you know?
Yeah. Which leads to maybe a final thought to chew on. How often do we maybe downplay our own needs because we want to please someone or fit in or whatever?
Like, what are the absolute non-negotiables for you in a relationship? Things you truly need to feel safe and valued? And are you making sure those needs are actually being met and respected?
Yeah.
Something to think about.